Hello, this is Miss Schrader. Today we are going to be talking about the artwork of Henri Matisse. My students, you'll need a piece of paper and something to write with. I'm going to take notes, and when you're done, you're giving me between 7 and 10 sentences on what you've learned about Henri Matisse. The painting we're currently looking at is called Woman Reading. It's one of his earliest pieces. Matisse was born in 1869 and died in 1954. He lived his entire life in France. He did travel, but he lived there. He's referred to as a visual artist. He was a draftsman, printmaker, and sculptor, worked with the Fauvism movement, remember? He also was working quite a bit with Pablo Picasso, who was somebody that we've been talking about. Now, the piece we're looking at is called Woman Reading. It's from 1895. It's one of his earlier pieces. And one of the things with it is that the woman has her back to the audience, to the viewer, and they describe that she seems serene and peaceful while everything around her, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of things there. One of the things I noticed is that it's very dark physically, along with her black dress. There isn't a whole lot of bright light in this picture. Prior to joining the Taoist movement, he was doing a lot of the same stuff that you would see with a lot of the Impressionists. Here we've got a vase of sunflowers, definitely makes you think of Van Gogh. One of the differences is that Van Gogh normally went with very bright colors, a lot of sunlight, things like that. Whereas you can see a lot of the darkness in this picture. The leaves for the flowers are almost black, so they're very dark. This is one of Matisse's more famous paintings. It's called The Green Stripe because of the green stripe that goes down the center of this woman's face. It's actually a picture of his wife, Emily. It was done in 1905. It's oil on canvas. It is considered to be part of the Fauvism group. It's currently on display in Copenhagen. But what I want you to notice is how much the painting is delineated between one side of the green stripe and the other side. Even the background on one side is darker and on the other side is lighter. Remember how I'm always telling you to make sure you're shading? Well, the left side of what we're looking at of her face has a tinge of green to it, whereas the right side is more of a pinky flesh color. So really very, very different. Remember the Falvis were the name means wild beast, so he's really being pretty radical. I'm left to wonder if his wife was delighted or not so delighted by this painting. Matisse considered this piece to be his masterpiece. It's called Le Bonheur de Vivre, or the joy of life. In the painting, nude men and women dance around, they play music, they are loving life. It deals with a lot of bright colors, so definitely going with a lot of that Vavism concept that we have been hearing about. A lot of people think that it may be based on a much earlier painting done in the 16th century called Love in the Golden Age. So it's possible. He thought really highly of it. A lot of other people didn't. They thought it was not really a very good painting. I find it very disturbing myself. It is currently in the Barnes Foundation in Philadelphia. Starting in 1906, Matisse started spending a lot more time with Pablo Picasso. He started spending time at the intellectual salon of Gertrude Stein. Stein was a writer and a critic of writers and very much a modernist. And he starts doing this kind of work. This is called The Moroccans. It's from 1915, 1916, oil on canvas, currently in the Museum of Modern Art. I'm not certain if it's supposed to be showing people from Morocco or Moroccans, that you use to shake and make sound. It's very much just circles and straight lines, lots of bright color, but definitely trying to make you think, make you wonder, things like that. After World War II, Matisse relocated, and I'm certain I'm going to say the name wrong, to Simis, which is in the south of France. And he continued to spend time with other modern artists doing really unusual pieces, things like that. He's collaborating with different artists. Some of the stuff that he's doing is not really appreciated. He's doing large works for the Barnes Foundation in Philadelphia. This particular piece is a self portrait from 1918. And as you can see, it is him. He's wearing a suit and he's painting. And you can see that he's got the brush up there. You can see he's got his palette on which he mixes the brushes. That almost looks like it could be a painting of people. Definitely no effort here to be extremely realistic. So almost childish in its nature. This is the Dance 2. It is a triptych mural in three parts, done at the Barnes Foundation in Philadelphia for them. It was done in 1932. It is a mural done in the arches of the building. And as you can see, it's nude people dancing around, falling on the ground, various different things. Very few colors. You can see no facial features. Very, very modern. Um, and so it took a lot of work. It's very, very large. I understand that it was actually damaged at one point when they decided to take it on a tour. And why you would want to take such a thing on a tour, I couldn't tell you because it would have been incredibly hard. But yeah, once again, very, very modern and stylistic in its nature. In the later years of his life, he had several different types of cancer, and he began designing this chapel. It's called the Matisse Chapel, which is in the south of France where he was living at the end of his life. He designed it. It has become a museum for some of his artwork, as well as being a religious location because he was becoming much more spiritual at the end of his life. All right, my students, you are giving me between 7 and 10 sentences about what you've learned about the art of Henri Matisse, and I hope you enjoyed this.